Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast. I'm your host Joe, and I want to talk to you about The Sandman, Season 1. Now, of course, Season 1 is not something that I thought I'd be saying. I thought that it was just going to be a limited series event. One of the many happy surprises that this show has brought to me. So, I am just getting over COVID, and that gave me the opportunity to actually sit down and binge the entirety of The Sandman. And I just wanted to say that if you haven't already gotten the opportunity to watch it, I recommend it. It's good. I would say that it's definitely deserving of the 8 out of 10 that it's been given on IMDb. I think that that's mostly the critical approval across the board. I haven't spoken to anybody yet who said, oh, The Sandman was garbage or, anything along those lines. The visuals are fantastic. The story is fun. Well, not really fun. It's kind of heavy, but I think that everybody understands what I mean when I say it's fun. It's fun to observe, mostly because it has those over-the-top elements which make Neil Gaiman's work so intriguing. American Gods is heavy, but it's good. Good Omens is heavy, but it's fun and it's funny and he always manages to tell these like really over-the-top stories and like this really impressive writing style that I would say anybody should check out. So The Sandman Season 1, great. In You Follow Dream, or Morpheus, Lord of the Dreams, and he introduces you to the dreaming realm, which is, of course, the realm of dreams itself. He rules over there, however, he gets trapped on Earth when he goes to capture the Corinthian, which is a nightmare that has been let loose. He created the Corinthian to be a nightmare, but the nightmare is trying to get into the real world and do his own business. So while he's there hunting the Corinthian, he ends up getting trapped by an Archmagus, and boom, bada boom, bada bing, that's the beginning of the story. Now, what caught me off guard, though, is that I figured we were going to spend Season 1 following Dream getting back his power, or the three items that he had, his sand, his ruby, and his mask, which are the three things that he had that got taken from him when he was captured. However, instead, they kind of threw me a curveball, and they let him get all of his stuff back before the end of the season, and then they started kind of a second story. But all of that is to establish kind of the entire world of the Sandman, because they're going to do more, which I think is cool. I'm totally on board with there being more. Again, visually stunning. It's just this fantastic representation of the way that dreams are, as well as just these immortal concepts: desire, despair, death. They even went to hell and visited Lucifer, and she did great. I can't complain at all. It's just the way that they fashioned the world is truly stupendous. They also introduced these kind of cool concepts, especially as the villain of not even the villain. The villain of Season 1 is the Corinthian. I would argue that point. But of course you have the Constantines of the world. You have this idea that the waking world is of course its own thing, but it needs to be governed by rules that are established by the Eternals. That need to be established by the Endless, and those endless concepts are keep things moving. Some of the things I liked, I like that they gifted probably my favorite character with immortality, and he's just living his best life. He is just out there living his life. Even when life is shitty, does not want to die, wants to continue to be immortal, totally on board with that. The idea of the dream vortex in Rose Walker, great concept. The breaking down of the walls between different people's dreams, and of course it puts everything at risk. It ups the stakes, which is a needed thing because, when you're following somebody who can live forever and is endless, there needs to be a certain amount of stakes or establishments. And that's why I think that it's so fun that Desire is kind of a villain on the back end. They want to see Dream fail, just to prove that it can be done. And I think that that's a nice concept that you can definitely, hook and drag into future seasons. And of course, the build-up for Season 2 is that now Hell is going to try and invade the Dreaming, which also very cool. So The Sandman Season 1 does a great job of establishing everything. It sets up everything that you need. It introduces concepts and characters. Some of my favorite bits in it definitely were the cereal convention. I thought that was a clever and fun thing to do. I think that Dream's doling out of justice, always poignant, always poetic, and always very It's very much what you would expect it to be. There is, however, one episode that I did not like, and I cannot remember if it is episode 5 or 6, but almost the entire episode takes place in a cafe, and I was not feeling it. I did not feel that episode. I did not feel like we needed to establish why John was doing what he was doing. The whole thing seemed like a wasted amount of time. Like, okay, cool. All right. Okay, same conversation again. It was like a Groundhog's Day, but it wasn't a Groundhog's Day, so it didn't sit well. But everything else, like, it fired on all the cylinders, it checked all the boxes, it hit everything. I definitely want to see what comes next. I think an invasion in season 2 is great, and it leads to a really big question. Why is there a DC show that is succeeding on Netflix? Why is it not on HBO Discovery Plus? Like, DC, like, what are we doing here? Like, why'd you do the thing? Because that's going to lead you into the same kind of weird anchor space as the Marvel properties, as well as the Dark Crystal, where now you've got this cool thing that's not on your flagship area, which seems weird to me. Like, just a really weird call. Like, why would you do that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, I guess if it's going to succeed, it's going to succeed, and it's going to succeed well. And it looks like The Sandman is definitely on its way to do that. What do you guys think? Is it an 8 out of 10? What would you have done differently? Do you think that the changes that they made between the graphical novel and the television show were worth it? Do you think that maybe they should have just homed in on what they had in their initial concept, or in their initial content, rather? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Otherwise, have a great one. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.